emergencies such as heart attacks and sudden cardiac arrest require immediate intervention to improve outcomes and save lives. Every second is crucial in these situations, as delays in treatment can lead to irreversible damage or death. Therefore, it's essential to raise awareness about the importance of swift action and the steps individuals can take to respond effectively in cardiac emergencies. Today, on your favorite Health TV talk show, The Physicians, we'll be talking about every second counts, the race against time in cardiac emergencies. It's another day on your favorite Health TV talk show, The Physicians, where your health is our business. My name is Dr. Memuna Yusuf Kadri, and of course, with my lovely co-host, she's no other person than...
My name is Dr. Martina Agberian. Welcome to The Physicians, where your health is always our business.
Today, we're talking about something very important. Yes. Very important because we are talking that every second counts. And when we talk about that in medicine, what comes to mind?
Well, Dr. Mumuna, what comes to mind is that every minute that you waste, a life is going.
Yeah.
Every second that you waste, a life is going. But it's every second that you utilize,
you are saving life.
Saving a life.
Yeah.
And of course, in The Physicians, you know, we always want to bring the best. So that would drive home the points.
And show people
how to actually rescue people.
And I'm happy we have someone who is very knowledgeable there. And I would say CPR, right, which is cardiopulmonary resuscitation, should be taught from as young as nursery school. True. I have seen a 9-year-old save the mom before an ambulance came to take the mom to the hospital. 9-year-old, that our minds won't really go there when something is happening. And he knew exactly what to do, how to position the mom, and was giving the cardiac, press and everything. And at the end, the mom survived.
I totally agree with you that it's good for this to be started as early as in primary school, right? I'm sure that the person you're talking about, the person in Nigeria?
Yes. And that's a good thing. Hold on.
That is good.
The truth is, we have an expert coming into the studio, and it will be good for her to also share some stories. Because a lot of times when I share this story, people are like, oh, yeah, I think it was in America and the UK. It's a Nigerian boy. It's a Nigerian boy. We'll be right back after this time. Do stay tuned.
Every day and in every way, enjoy that I find support. No matter the role you play, you jump back supplement for you and me. In your body, that I fight you.
Darvite Nutritional Supplement is loaded with essential multivitamins, minerals, and natural ingredients that helps you to be at your best. Darvite from LB Pharma. Darvite, love yourself.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is your favorite Health TV talk show, The Physicians, where your health is our business. Today on the show, we are talking about a very important topic. Every second counts. And with us in the studio is no other person, someone who has been challenging the cause of Africa being, having a well-rounded and great awareness when it comes to cardiopulmonary resuscitation. She is Mrs. OGOCHUKWU, a health, safety, and environmental consultant, and a licensed life support instructor by the American Heart Association. She is the MD CEO of Menace Consulting and founder of CPR Ready Africa. She is passionate about a safe and CPR-ready Nigeria and, of course, Africa at large. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Lifesaver. She's the lifesaver, so she's here to tell us a lot about life-saving. So
we need it, actually. We really
need
Everybody
it.
needs it.
every second counts. Can you share, like, give us a personal experience? Because when we say every second counts, and you know how to manage cardiac emergencies, is there any personal experience, a memorable experience that you've had when it comes to CPR?
Yes, I have a very bitter one that has traumatized me from my teenage years till now. And March 24th, 2004, I watched my father die.
That's 20 years ago.
Yes. So I knew something was wrong with him, but I didn't know what it was or how to help him. So the only thing I could do was to call my elder brother, who is a medical doctor, but he had gone to work. So commuting from work to the house to respond to it, time had gone. And by the time he came in, he started pressing his chest, compressing the chest. I'm wondering, what is he doing? But he was long gone by that time. So he was really, by the time we got to the hospital, he was pronounced dead on arrival. And that was my father. Now, if I had had this knowledge, I would have done something. I should have done something before my brother arrived that would have saved my father, and I would have been with him till I'm the last boy. My father was my best friend, and it was just a very painful death. And you know, when I asked him, what were you doing, my elder brother, what were you doing? He said it was CPR. And in that moment of grief, he couldn't explain much to me. So I went on Google and started searching, what is CPR all about? Who does that? Was it for medical doctors alone? And I realized that I saw a video. It was the one that was the most painful part of it. A video of a 9-year-old in the US that saved the grandmother's life. He was left alone in the house with the grandmother. The grandmother went into cardiac arrest. He was able to do that and call the emergency number. A 9-year-old boy. And when he was asked, well, interviewed on CNN, how did you learn? They said he went on a summer camp and was taught CPR. And he was able to use that to provide that to the grandmother. And the grandmother is still alive today. It was part of the interview that day. Alive and well.
For our audience, it's good for us to quickly, because when you hear CPR, they're like, what is this one talking about again? And we don't want to take it away from you, because you are the expert here. What's filming on CPR, and why CPR and the benefits?
So CPR is cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
No wonder it's a mouthful.
Yes.
So let's keep with CPR.
is so cardio, the heart, pulmonary, the lungs, resuscitation to revive someone. So it's just a simple. So it's a simple act you do. You know the Lister gel we used to use back in the days that you have to wind down, and then it picks up. That's what you're doing to the heart. So at that moment when the heart stops doing the job of pumping the blood, the heartbeat pumps the blood around the body, supplying the vital organs. And when someone stops breathing, in the next 4 to 8 minutes, the brain cell starts dying. So if you don't respond and do what the heart ought to do, by the time the person even gets back, if he makes it back, he might be brain damaged, or some vital organs must have lost because they've lost oxygen. There's no supply oxygen to supply of oxygen to those organs. So what you're doing is to manually do what the heart will do. So you are pumping the heart. As you are compressing, as you compress, blood is sent out to those vital organs. As you release your hand, the blood flows back into the heart to get oxygen. So you're doing that at the pace of the heartbeats, at the pace at which the heart beats. So there's a pace to it, and there's a depth. You don't just romance the heart, or it has to be deep enough, like 5 cm deep, so it can get to where the heart muscle is.
So as an expert, right? I'm sure you already know there are some misconceptions, right?
A whole lot.
So are there some you want to share with us? What are those common misconceptions about CPR, and that you want us to know about, so that we can actually address them properly?
So there a whole lot of it, and I mean there are so many misconceptions. Each time I go around to teach people, I hear a lot of things. Some tell you, oh, you don't do this if you might really want to kill the person eventually. How can somebody already passed out, you are pressing the person's chest, you are the one killing? So, and people get into trouble at times trying to provide help. So if you do it in a place where there are ignorant people, they might end up blaming you for the death of that person, not knowing they are trying to help, because of what they see you do. And unfortunately, in this part of the country, we don't have what they call the Good Samaritan law. And in the US, there's Good Samaritan law that protects you. So even if you're sued for killing the person because you're trying to provide help, the Good Samaritan law Yes.
Killing in quote, yeah.
Yes, in quotes. So the
Yeah.
use of original law protects you because
I think you should drive that law.
Yeah,
because if you are in this field, I think you should, you know, it's passing, you know,
Okay,
getting down.
Are you still talking about the misconceptions?
Yeah, misconceptions, a whole lot of them. We have people that if someone, so first of all is the response. People have a lot of, when someone passed out or slumps, you rush the person to the hospital, or some people put onions on the person's nostrils. So
what would that one do?
I think you should ask them. So they put fire on the feet of the person. Some the religious ones put anointing oil and all those things. I mean,
time is going.
Yes, time is going. Time is going. As you're doing that, the person is going. Oxygen is not supplied to the vital organs, as the person is unable to breathe or pump blood by him or herself. So a lot people run around. A panic is the worst part of it, because once it happens, people go into panic. Even people that know what CPR is, at that moment, because it's the loved one or something, they forget to do what they need to do.
So they go into me like a freeze state.
They go into, or they start doing what is not. Some pour water, some do a lot of things, and forget to do that vital thing. Just one thing that requires just your two hands. You're supposed to do.
Okay, let me just quickly ask this question. Who are those that actually require CPR? Like, what would have caused the person's
the reason
for having the CPR done? Is it because maybe the person is like kind of choking and stops breathing? Or what are those?
Yeah, the indications for CPR.
So CPR is done for a person who is not breathing and does not have a pulse.
Okay.
The pulse means the person can't feel anything.
So for you, doctors, you can check the break. But for the layman, you can't make mistake with this. For the easiest one is a carotid pulse.
Okay.
You can't mix that. It's very loud and very clear.
So when you talk about the carotid pulse, you're talking about the very big vessel that is
ones.
there. When you touch it, you feel the pulsation.
Yes.
You feel something bang on your hand.
Almost hitting your hand out.
Yes, it's very loud and clear. Nobody can miss that.
Then the easiest way to know if the person is not breathing.
Yes. Visible rise and fall of the chest.
Okay.
Just look for the visible rise and fall of the chest. As I'm looking at you now, you're breathing, I can see your chest moving.
In and out.
Yes.
I don't know why you stretching.
I have to be sure.
But
So you can put your finger over the nostril, but that one too is a bit fickle.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
But that visible rise and fall of the chest, if the person is on the floor, you can see it.
You are right.
It's very obvious. And then they pause. So if the person and there's no response, you call the person, hello, hello, no response, no breathing, no pulse. Please start CPR. We even go to say that if you're a layman, you don't even need to check for pulse. So far there's no response and the person is not breathing. Start CPR. Because it's better for you to start CPR at that point than to wait to confirm for pulse and all that. Because in the moment of panic, you may even need something that is very
see something else and feeling something else. Start CPR.
Start CPR.
And at this point in time, we are going to have a live demonstration.
Yes.
Mrs. OKECHUKWU, now we want to have a live demonstration because we have been speaking plenty grammar. CPR, press the chest, do this, do that. Please, can you show us and of course our audience how this is done so that we can properly
so first of all, I would like to show you the position of the heart where you place your hands. So we use the heel of the hand.
Okay.
The heel of the hand here. We don't use the entire palm. We use just the heel of the palm. So you place it on the sternum. So we say heel on sternum. The sternum is the bone in between the breast. For the guys, the nipples, you can use the nipples of the guys. A guy that is not chubby, a man that is not chubby. You know, some people men, they have breasts, but they are guys. Literally, not literally though. So you place it at the midpoint. That's the sternum. There's a bone there, flat bone here, which is here. Yeah. Then for the ladies, our own is not reliable because some people you can't use the nipple to judge. So you find the apex of the rib cage. You all have it. Where the two of them joints, and then you put two fingers and then place your hand. That's the sternum. That's how to know it. So and then you don't do CPR on somebody with clothing. Once somebody slumps, there's cardiac arrest, you've confirmed it's cardiac arrest, remove all clothing to the bra.
Even in public?
Yes.
Are you talking about in public?
Yes. So choose between your life and being exposed. Okay. So you remove to the singlet or the bra. everything goes, and then you must place the person on a hard surface.
Okay.
So you don't have a reverse, your pressures are not going back to you. You can't do it on the bed or the chair. So you
on the
bring
floor.
the person back on the floor or a table, hard surface.
And it's
so
flat.
You can, a flat, hard surface. So once you've done that, you place the heel of your hand, like I said, on the sternum. And then you use the other hand to make sure you take off your fingers. So you don't break the person's rib cage. So there is a very fragile bone. Then you do the compression. Make sure you're doing 5 cm straight down and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So it's 30 compressions and 2 breaths. So, but the breathing, there are some reservations around, especially when you don't know the person. Or if it's your relative, your spouse, your child, or someone close to you, you can do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. So you can do mouth-to-mouth if you don't have a barrier device that you can put. So you tilt the head, place your palm on the forehead, tilt the head, and then do a complete seal. You have a complete seal of the person's mouth. It is a kiss of life, not kiss of love. If you don't have a complete seal, you are kissing the person for love. So have a tight seal. The air should not escape neither from you or from the person. So then you breathe in twice. Then you go back. 1, 2, 2. So 30 compressions, 2 breaths. 30 compressions, 2 breaths. But in the case where you don't know the person, you can do hands-only CPR. It's still enough. When somebody slumps, there's still oxygenated blood in the person's system. So you can still be pumping that around to help the vital organs to keep being alive, pending when the person has ROSC, what we call ROSC, that's return of spontaneous circulation.
So when you are doing that pump, right, that compression, are you expected to look at the individual?
Yes, you should be on the lookout.
Okay.
You should be on the lookout, because I've had to practice this in a church where a over 70-year-old man slumped, and I did that. It was the person, I saw the movements on the head, and I then checked, I called him, hello. He then tried to touch me. So I knew he was around. So we then take
so before you leave that position, when you imagine that you just have a patient or somebody slumps, when you get there, the process, what do you do?
So
when you get to the place,
hello, Mr. John, hello, can you hear me? No response. You check for the rise and fall of the chest, remember? And alongside doing this, so you can do both at the same time. Checking for the pulse. If you can't, once you see he's not breathing, there's no response, you start CPR.
Okay, but you clear every other thing
around.
Yes, you clear things around. Yeah. If there's a crowd, you can move them so they can have.
That is where the problem is.
Yes.
Do you usually require support when you're doing
this? Sure. This is very exhausting. Very exhausting. So, and you're not allowed to stop until the person comes around, or you yourself, you're about to faint, because it's
so while you're doing that, you're also calling, please, who can do this?
Yes. Someone can look at you on the spot and learn. It's something you can learn in minutes.
Okay.
Just know the hand position, and then you do it. So while the person takes over from you, you can catch your breath, and you guys can change. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. Until the person comes around, or you have a more professional help comes to take over, like an ambulance comes over, or the person or you about. Those are the 3 conditions. You're about to go down. Then please make sure that you don't stop. I don't know if you remember that footballer, Denmark footballer.
Exactly.
They did it for an hour, about 90 minutes on the pitch.
On the pitch, before he came. Yes,
before he came back.
How long are you expected to continue on this?
I just said it. You will not stop until the person comes around, or you're about to faint, or help comes.
So those 3 criteria.
And you as a layman, you're not allowed to pronounce somebody dead.
That's
you
true.
can't. So you have to continue. So that's why you need help. You need people to come so you can switch. And then between the time you switch, make sure you don't waste time having to take over, because you have to be doing this. When your heart is beating, is pumping blood, it doesn't take any break. It does it continuously throughout the day, 24/7. So you have to be doing this as the person is about to take over. The person is already positioning on this side. As you lift your hand, the person places their hand, and it continues like that.
So what it means is that if you start, don't stop.
Don't stop. And they don't stop to take the person to the hospital. If somebody is not breathing and there's no pulse, there's nothing. By the time you take the person, that time of commission, like we said, every second count. You're going to lose the person by the time you get to the hospital. So you do this, and most people, even when you see a patient that got drowned, this is what you should do.
Okay, even cases of drowning.
Drowning, yes. This is what you should do to revive the person. You don't just pick up the person from the water and rush to the hospital. Start CPR immediately. We've lost a lot of drowned children and drowned adults because we don't do this. We pick up the person, load them up in the hospital, in the car, and start going to the hospital. But you lose them along the way. We say CPR, cardiac arrest, load, stay and play. But if it's heart attack, you can load and go. There's a difference.
No, repeat that again for the sake of our
So
audience.
cardiac arrest, stay and play.
Okay.
Heart attack, load and go.
Load
Load the
and go.
person to the hospital because in cardiac arrest, the person is still conscious.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Heart attack.
Heart attack.
When cardiac arrest,
When you say load, means move the
move the
person.
person to the move the person, be it an ambulance or your car, whatever you're using, and get to the hospital. Or if it's cardiac arrest, the person is. It's just like when you turn off. The heart is the major organ of the body that support. So it's just like turning off a switch.
Exactly.
Everything goes off.
And that takes us to the next question.
No,
with regards to
the
workplaces.
you talked about with reference to the 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And Memuna also talked about the...
Yeah, my 9-year-old, while yours was in America, my 9-year-old was here in Nigeria. And it's for his mom. And so the doctors were amazed that, and it's good she's going, please explain that to us, that it's a young boy who had a genetic disorder. It's a sickle cell carrier and very fragile. Like when you see him, you even know that this one, he has all the features. He was able to continue until
Even dogs. I've seen American police dog trained to do this.
Yeah, now.
Okay, so it means it's very, very important.
It's very important.
9-year-old.
Yes.
I've
taught schools.
Now it just shows that it is very, very important. It's what everyone should do.
I've taught schools,
So now
primary schools,
communities. Please tell us how do you think they can be better prepared?
It's just about the awareness. Learn it. I've taught schools, I've taught associations, both social association and corporate organizations and religious home. Everybody should learn it. Don't leave it to chance. Because it's better for you to have this knowledge and not need it, than for you to need it and not have it.
Give us our last tips to our audience there. Because as a life support instructor, what advice do you have for our audience?
So I think the first thing you should know, aside teaching your children your phone number and their house address, is to teach them CPR.
I like that. Phone number and house address.
Teach them CPR because they will need this either to save. Maybe we used to leave them to the care of the adults, but what if the adult is the person that needs help and the children are the person around? So teach them this, and then please, everybody should learn this skill. Learn this skill. Old, young, adult, child, male, female, even to your dogs. You can provide CPR to a dog. So I advise everybody, this skill is very vital. It's a life-saving skill you should have at the tip of your fingers. It is better for you to have it and not need it than for you to need it and not have it. A life will be lost, like I lost mine.
Thank you so much, Mrs. OGOCHUKWU. This is so amazing because we've had you before in the studio and we've had this discussion, and this is so if you know about it, this should be like a refresher course for you. And if you don't know it, this is a time for you to go and learn it. How many days does it take if you want to be licensed?
Licensed, just a day.
Just a day. So please, what are you waiting for? And we have said in 2024, no good for anybody. But that's great to go and learn this skill because it's a life-saving skill. Like what she's wearing, she's a lifesaver. So CPR, as the name is, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, it's a skill that each and every one of us needs. So if you find anybody that has had any of this issue, maybe you're in the office, in your church or mosque, on the way, please deliver this service. And like what she said, if you are the one giving it, there are things you must ensure you do. Make sure you call the person before you even do it. And if the person is not breathing, the chest is not moving up and down, then that means you should deliver that. And while doing it, you shouldn't stop. Get help so that if you feel that you are feeling faintish or you are too tired, get help before professional help comes in. Until next time, my name is Dr. Memuna Yusuf Kadri.
Thank you very much for coming on this program. It's actually an eye-opener for a lot of people, even for our audience that did listen to you. Indeed, every second counts. I really appreciate you for all you're doing. And I pray that you continue to excel and teach more people.
Yes.
They've heard, and I'm sure they will actually learn and move it to a better position. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you again to tell us more on ways to save lives. And to our viewers out there, I just want to say thank you for keeping a date with us on the regular Health TV talk show. The physicians, indeed, every second counts. How are you going to help the next person? Remember, CPR, if you learn it, it is not for you. It's for somebody else. It is not for you. You cannot do it for yourself. Somebody else, you have to do it on somebody else. Another person will also learn that skill and use it on you if the need arises. If we have a lot of people, even families, learn CPR, those people that passed during the AFCON match, they won't have gone. At least they would have survived, because what they had at that time probably would have helped them to be resuscitated. On this final note, I just want to say thank you again for keeping a date with us. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. If you want to be part of this program, like our very delectable guests, our lifesaver here, just send us an email, just a click away, and you will be here. The next time, my name is Dr. Martina Agbemia. Stay blessed.
Every day and in every way, enjoy that I find support. No matter the role you play, nutrient pack supplement for you and me. In your body, that I fight you.
Daravite nutritional supplement is loaded with essential multivitamins, minerals, and natural ingredients that helps you to be at your best. Daravite from LB Pharma. Daravite, love yourself.